Hello, I'm Sam Highfield, a visual effects supervisor, and over the years I've asked many film crews from many different countries, so what do you think of visual effects supervisors then? People like me who do my kind of role on a film set, what do you think of us? And the general consensus isn't very good, They say, you know what, Sam, to be honest, like normally when the VFX supervisor opens their mouth on set, like a complete mess comes out. They can be very unclear about what they say. No one's really sure what they're trying to get us to do. It's always very complicated. They can be these kind of like nerdy, odd, mumbly people, and it doesn't go down very well. And you got to consider that when many different people all say the same thing, you got to think maybe they've got a point. So, and I'll hold up my hand. I was definitely one of those weird, nerdy, mumbly VFX guys. I was very unpopular on the set. No one even wanted to go and sit next to me at lunchtime. But then I came up with these two changes that completely changed the dynamic towards VFX on set, where I could take a crew that was very anti-VFX and change them into a VFX loving crew. I can take a crew that's straight out hostile to VFX and change them into a crew where they're actually coming up with great ideas to help the visual effects, and we're going for like beers and laughs together on our days off. So I'll get into what the two changes are in a moment, but I want to tell you an extreme example of something that happened to me in the beginning of my VFX career. And that was, I was on a film set one day and it was in the morning, and I said to the best boy, have you got that big mobile green screen rigged for that visual effects shot later in the day? And he said, we don't touch anything green. And I went, well, isn't a green screen like a piece of lighting kit, like a big reflector? He says, no, we don't touch anything green. Oh, well, I mean, I'm sure I saw it on your truck yesterday. And he says, no, that truck's somewhere else today. Go and use your little pop-up green screen. And he says, well, I would use my little pop-up green screen, but the thing is, it's not big enough, and that's why we need the big mobile one. He said, that's not my problem. And that was my introduction to visual effects supervising quite a long time ago. But anyway, with experiences like that and having like shades of kind of like aggression and such towards VFX, I thought there's got to be something I can do to really radically change the atmosphere towards visual effects. And I came up with the two changes, right? So the two changes are, one of them is showing as many people as possible, cast and crew, a pre-visualization. And then the second one is live VFX composites on the set. So I'll go into each one of those. So pre-visualization, so that could be from something as simple as something that I will knock up in say 20 minutes on set, where I make pretty much like do a little animation of like paper cutouts of the actors, and you can see, okay, this person's on that part of the frame and this is how they move, all the way up to like very advanced, full-on 3D pre-visualizations where they're almost like finished shots. But at the more basic end, I found that's kind of very useful because that can be made quite quickly, say by me, on the set or in between shots or something like that. And for example, there was a shot where we had this black room and it had these red lasers in there, these menacing red lasers, and we had one of our actors in this room, and the idea was that one of these red lasers was going to come very close to this actor, and she would go and deliver a line there, and the red line would be very close to her face. So I just whipped up a very basic pre-visualization, and I showed one of the electricians, and I was showing them this shot and said, this is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. And he said, oh, hang on, Sam, I've got a really great new toy that I think could help. And I said, okay. So he went over to his truck, and he brought out this fantastic light that I'd never seen before. It was like a long fluorescent tube, but it's like an LED tube, and you could change it to any color that you liked. So he changed it to red, and not only red, but you could also program this flicker in it, like the flicker of like a crackling LED red laser beam, right? And that's great because if we can get like real lighting that works with the visual effects, that helps the visual effects to sit more naturally in the frame, right? And I thought, you know what a great guy. He's thought of this idea to try and help me out. Isn't that a million miles away from I don't touch anything green? you know. And the next one is live VFX composites. So at the time of recording this video, there is this great new technique. It's called virtual production. And what it is, as opposed to say like a green screen, you have like a really big LED wall where you can actually show an environment in there, perhaps a 3D environment. And that environment will actually cast light into the scene where the light will fall on the actors and props, and you can see it in reflections and such. It's absolutely fantastic. Obviously, the actor can see the real environment they're in as opposed to having to guess like with a green screen. But at the moment, not every production can use virtual production for every visual effects shot. So fortunately, there are some other solutions, and one of them that I made, which is a piece of software that I wrote myself, I called it Imagini, which I have released commercially. So if you want, you can use the same solution that I use. And what it is, it's a basic but really simple, it's a simple but powerful tool where you can take a live feed from the camera, you can take a pre-made plate and combine that with some basic gyroscopic tracking, and then you can put these really simple but really useful live composites together right on the set using just say your laptop and a capture device like this, where you can plug in a BNC or HDMI output from your camera or from a monitor, plug it into your laptop, and then you can just put it all together, and then you can connect your laptop, say like a big screen, so all the cast and crew can see the what you're doing. So for actors, let's say they were on a green screen or even like a split screen, they can say, oh right, that's the big spaceship I'm supposed to be reacting to, and there's my eye line, and I can't move to the side because there's a box there. Okay, that makes sense now. And then for a DOP, when they can see like a live composite, especially with a green screen, and they can see the real background plate with the live plate, and they can really tune I think they really enjoy this actually, where they can really set their lighting, because okay, that's the composite, and they can signal to their electricians and they can say, right, move that key light more that way, a bit more, diffuse it a bit more. Okay, great. And then they realize when the spaceship goes over the actor, it should cast a shadow on them. So when they're looking at this live composite with the animation on and everything, they can say, okay, we can time like a black flag to cover our key light at the same time the ship passes over. So we get like a real shadow going over the actor, and everything sits together nicely. And it's just nice because when you can see it all together, it means you can just get the light perspective and the acting together. So later on, it's not intended as like a replacement for virtual production, but it just means that the plates just work together and we're not having any horrible, nasty, awkward fixes later on. And kind of a lot of money can be wasted in fixing problems that was obvious if you could just see the thing live. And people really, and the casting crew really like that. So the two solutions are, you've got showing can be basic pre-visualizations to everyone, showing live composites, and the difference there is that now the cast and crew can actually see the visual effects. So it's not this weird thing that only exists in the VFX supervisor's head and everyone's left guessing. What a lot of the crew have said, it actually makes it into this really nice puzzle. Like visual effects is a puzzle, which can be really fun to kind of, if people can collaborate and put it all together, it's something that's really different from what a film crew will do day to day, and it's a nice change in it. And visual effects can even be the highlight of the day as opposed to being this miserable, horrible, complicated thing. So that's my opinion on how you can change an anti-VFX crew into a VFX loving crew. I'm Sam Highfield. I'm a VFX supervisor. Consider hiring me for your next project. Consider buying an Imagini kit. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.